All right, what's going on, family? This is your brother,
They started the
Afrodescendant
destruction of the
Ali.
Black.
We are here. We are
Good morning. Good
live. Thank
morning.
you for joining us once again on the Angel Network 1930, where we bring you the latest going on in the black world here. Today, we want to discuss the Black Lives Matter Plaza removal in Washington, D.C., by order of President Trump. As we can see, there's a lot of noise going on around the world about this, and we want to take a look at this. Now, let's get right to it. So, here we're going to take a look at the local news, courtesy of Reuters, where we see a lot going on here in the DC area. We have demolition crews, but let's take a look at this thing that's going on behind the scenes.
I'm here because I just felt such frustration and outrage when I heard that the administration had pressured DC to take out Black Lives Plaza. When this went in, it meant a lot to a lot of people, residents of DC, but I think also to residents of the United States and to the world, that we were finally acknowledging something which has been a difficult part of US culture. So I felt that it was important to come down here and just see it one last time before it went away, since, the president put a mandate on her to get rid of it or he would take funding away from the district. And so, she had to make a decision on behalf of her community, and the city and the district. And I don't fault her for that. We don't want the district to be defunded. I'm frightened. This administration frightens me. It seems to be very prejudiced against people of color, against the LGBTQ community, against women who don't fall into line, actually against anyone who doesn't fall into line with what they want. And that's very frightening for a government that has always at least acknowledged that there are differences in our country.
So, as we can see, there's a lot going on out here. There's a threat from President Trump, or at least the White House, to defund DC or reduce the funding. Not sure the scale of the funding that's planning to be deducted from Washington, D.C., the government, the local district government there. But uh, the consequences are that the mayor actually had this removed because of the threat to funding by order of Donald Trump. And we will get into it later, specifically with an article to learn more about this development. But remember that this came about as a result following the George Floyd protests, the international movement. Me, myself, I'm here in Africa. I have seen in several countries George Floyd murals, Black Lives Matter murals. So that was a global phenomenon. And I just want to keep in mind, family, that whenever something like this, particularly in the area of protests against police violence, this thing goes global. I remember during the protests, Freddie Gray protests in Baltimore, I was in Ethiopia, and it was all over the news there. So don't think that your plight is being overlooked. It's being seen. It's up to Black people to be able to uh, put the narrative to it, because mostly sometimes it's seen as that Black people are just being destructive. So just keep that in mind as we continue on here, fam. Have some behind the scenes activity going on, police protection at the site, and as I understand, that will be going on for about a week. And my goodness, the police in America, they look like GI Joe ninjas now. I don't know if a war is finna break out or what, but those police are well armed and they look like Navy SEALs out there, but that's just my commentary. Let's take a look at the statement from Mayor Muriel Bowser of Washington, D.C. Statement from Muriel Bowser on the evolution of Black Lives Matter Plaza. We have long considered Black Lives Matter Plaza's evolution, and the plaza will be part of DC's America 2250 mural project, where we will invite students and artists to create murals across all 8 wards. The mural inspired millions of people and helped our city through a very painful period. And of course, she's referring to the period of George Floyd protests and the number of people that passed away, to include Breonna Taylor and the large number of Black people that were assassinated by American police forces throughout the country. The mural inspired millions of people and helped our city through a very painful period. But now we can't afford to be distracted by meaningless congressional interference. The devastating impact of the federal job cuts must be our number one concern. Our focus is on economic growth, public safety, and supporting our residents affected by these cuts. So, not much directed as the why of the mural being taken down, but she addressed it nonetheless, stating that focus must be on other areas at this time, and that this is just a battle lost in the larger war in Washington, D.C. So that's the statement from Mayor Muriel Bowser. Let's take a look to see what's going on around the internet and how people really feel about
They
this.
started the destruction of the
Let's
Black
take a
Lives
look.
Matter
We
mural
have
on Black.
a lot of people that are chiming in with their 2 cents about this particular issue. And let's take a look here. We had one sister. There were many. I actually did some interactions, pardon me, some duets on TikTok about this, and you'll see a few of them in our short section. But let's take a look at what people are thinking around here. And excuse the sounds in the background, the call to prayer here. It is late afternoon.
They started the destruction of the Black Lives Matter mural on Black Lives Matter Plaza in DC today. And I say destruction instead of reconstruction because they are actually literally destroying the street in order to just repave it. Now, it took millions of dollars to actually design this mural, and they are saying that it's going to take hundreds and thousands of dollars to actually reconstruct it. But I just want to stress again that they are actually using our tax dollars to destroy this street just to reconstruct it and redesign it when we are literally getting ready to go into a recession. I also hear that they are going to rename the plaza as well. And as of today, they have not actually confirmed that yet and confirmed the actual new name. Now, this mural is actually north of the White House. So I believe this is something that number 47 has to see every time that he flies into the White House.
So, of course, he wants it gone. Is this helping our economy? Is this actually helping anyone save money? Do you know anyone that this is actually going to help? Let me know.
So it looks like this is bringing out many people who have a concern. Look, I'm not Democrat or Republican, so this is not an ambush against Trump, for Trump, against Democrats, for Democrats. We just want to make this clear. In addition to the fact that my by me being not either, I can still recognize when there's a war on black people, especially a narrative war, propaganda war, and we must be aware of this, right? No matter what side we take, we have to be able to look at the signs that this is hybrid warfare that's going on against black people. So if you're not a Democrat and you're someone that is conservative, or if you're someone that voted for Trump in general, you definitely have to be able to see when hybrid warfare is taking place. They're taking out the majority. The majority of our people really do support Democrats in this, right? So whether I was for Kamala or not for Kamala, I still can recognize at the end of the day when hybrid warfare is going on. So this is not about supporting the Democrats, supporting liberalism, supporting wokeism, supporting anything. We know wokeism is a code for black people at the end of the day. So let's take a look at a statement from Bishop Talbert Swan from X. He's also someone that is a voice for black people at times. And we definitely like his thoughts on a lot of these topics. And here's what he had to say. They erased Black Lives Matter Plaza from the streets of DC, but left a statue honoring a man who enslaved over 1,000 black people standing in the U.S. Capitol. Under pressure from Trump and racist Republicans, they demolished Black Lives Matter Plaza, but had no issue preserving the legacy of Wade Hampton III, a Confederate general, slaveholder, and white supremacist. America doesn't have a problem with murderers, rapists, and enslavers in federal buildings, only with being reminded that Black Lives Matter. So again, this is one thing that you see a lot of comments as it relates to any issue when black people are complaining, and it's only because of the conflating with the Democrats and liberalism and leftism. In a lot of cases we get a lot of the stray bullets, but here Bishop Talbert Swan is bringing to focus that, hey, you are hypocrites here, right? Because you're honoring these murderers, you're honoring these slaveholders, but at the same time, when black people bring forth something, you know, that has to be demolished. That there's an issue there. It's not inclusive. So I assume Wade Hampton III, a Confederate general, mind you, the Confederates were actually they lost the Civil War. So again, we have images of Confederates throughout the country, people who lost the war, who wanted to destroy the United States government, but yet they are still allowed to have images all over the country. Now imagine if all of these countries that had imagine Haiti having French replicas of French legends and French symbols of greatness throughout Haiti after they defeated them in their war. Right? Imagine Israel having Nazi symbols throughout their country. That's craziness. So here we are in a country, because at the end of the day, this is the heart and soul of America, is the Confederacy. Somehow they had to get away from the Confederacy because they knew for the sustainability of their country, they couldn't keep those symbols. But in their heart of hearts, this is who they really are. Now let's take a look at another instance
Good
of
morning. Good morning.
people having this discussion about it, because this is really a passionate topic for a lot of people. They have a lot to say. And the beauty of this is that, at the very least, you're seeing a lot of Black people who are becoming politically engaged. And part of the reason we're in a lot of this mess is because we haven't taken things seriously. And a lot of these people appear to be Gen Xers, mid to late 40s to mid 50s. So let's take a look here at this sister who's from the DC area.
Good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, y'all. So I know you heard. That the Black Lives Matter Plaza mural is being in Washington, D.C. It was on the news. We do not care. I live in the DMV area. There's tons of pictures and history that we have regarding that mural. We know what happened. We know why they put it. So we don't care. We don't care. We're not protesting. We're not doing anything to resist letting them do what they need to do. Okay? I'm smiling because obviously we are taking up a lot of space in their brains, and what we're doing is working. Not going in the streets, not voicing our opinions about how it may or may not affect you, because we don't care. We don't care. We buy in from our own. We are continually boycotting. And as far as I'm concerned, take it up a notch, y'all. Take it up a notch. Get serious. Get serious about your health, your mental state, at you and yours. That's the only thing we focus on. That's it. And of course, hold the line. Hold the line, y'all. Hold the line.
There you go. Sisters saying hold the line, right? Boycott, support your own. I love it. This is a beautiful thing, right? We don't have to protest. We don't have to go out there. Matter of fact, we don't even need more murals. What we need is meaningful outcomes that actually move the needle, right? We need things that are actually going to make us move forward as a people. And symbolic gestures don't do it anymore. And this you are seeing before your very eyes, brothers and sisters, are Black people in America growing up, becoming more aware, becoming more sophisticated. For some of you, it may not move as fast as you wanted, but yeah, this is actually what we need. I love to hear it. Salute to the beautiful sister for her very strong message. Before we close out here, let's go into the actual an actual article that gives a little more detail about this, and then we'll go ahead and close out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Support the Cash App there. You see at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. And let's take a look at it. This article printed on March 13, 2025. Phil Pasquini, Black Lives Matter Plaza removed from DC funding. Emboldened by Donald Trump's war on words and woke phrases, Congressman Andrew Clyde, a member of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, on March 3rd introduced Bill H.R. 1744 to eliminate Black Lives Matter. So this guy is from a whole nother state. Andrew Clyde from Georgia, right? And he's like, yeah, let's introduce this bill. And this bill came all the way through. Look how this is March 3rd. Less than 2 weeks later, the plaza is being destroyed. So we know when government wants something, they get it, and they get it fast, and they move on it. The racist overtones in erasing this important symbolic part of DC and American history are not lost on anyone. The purported purpose of the congressman's bill is to amend Title 23, United States Code, to withhold certain apportionment funds from the District of Columbia unless the mayor of the District of Columbia removes the phrase Black Lives Matter from the street. Symbolically designated as Black Lives Matter Plaza, redesignates such street as Liberty Plaza. So remember Talbot Swan and the slaveholder memorial that's still in the Capitol building. He represents liberty. Where's the bill for that? And remove such phrase from each website, document, and other material under the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. It is a wonder, too, why the good congressman did not demand that his bill be numbered 1776 to maintain its patriotic theme. I don't know how patriotic it is in general, but America's full of hypocrisy, so there's no real patriot. There's just a bunch of frontin' ass people. Representative Clyde, a gun store owner, fired the first shot to erase the 5-year-old two-block plaza that was designated BLM Plaza in 2020. The plaza was created in reaction to the killing of George Floyd by police, in whose wake civil unrest and we got blocked off. Protests broke out according across the country, calling for racial justice. Feeling the pressure from the proposed bill were to be passed rather than remain intransient, DC Mayor Muriel Bowser has ordered the removal of all BLM Plaza vestiges and paving the way for the creation of the new proposed Liberty Plaza. That demolition work began on March 10th. Mind you, the bill was put through on the 3rd. So she's actually being proactive, not even putting up a fight on this, but that's okay, cool. Shout out to Muriel Bowser. I've met the sister. I've had taken a picture with her many years ago. So salute, all love to the sister, but good Lord. And is proceeding at a rapid pace. You talk about a whole week. So that means, so the work began on the 10th, negotiations probably began the day the bill was passed. Here we go. Bowser downplayed her decision earlier this week in recognizing the change has an quote unquote evolution and said that we can't afford to be distracted by meaningless, and now this is from her statement, congressional interference. The devastating impacts of federal job cuts must be our number one concern. Our focus should be on economic public safety and supporting our residents affected by these cuts. Case closed. Since its inception from an early simply painted tribute, it has gone through at least 3 iterations as traffic slowly wore down the original painted letters and the street was reopened to traffic. Its final design in 2021 that was promoted as a permanent installation, the plaza underwent an extensive and professionally designed remodel with the installation of an expensive cobblestone and cement paved street bed, new yellow heat applied lettering, and the delineation of 2 traffic lanes separated by a pedestrian zone contained within modern illuminated bollards. In its first iteration, citizen volunteers painted Black Lives Matter in bold yellow lettering across the black asphalt pavement from curb to curb on the street closed to traffic. During its existence, it has gone from a symbol of racial justice, activism, and resistance in America to an outliner offensive to Trump and the MAGA crowd in need of immediate removal. Remember how this thing has moved fast. Soon after was created, the plaza became a part of a growing tourist attraction and downtown community space that saw the former busy street facing the White House used for numerous community activities and events. The transformation now to a new and unknown design for Liberty Plaza, with the associated cost of demolishing BLM and reconstruction should be the stuff of Doge nightmares. For a cost conscious entity flippant in firing hardworking civil servants at a frantic pace, tasked by Trump and Musk with removing government waste and excess, one has to wonder how they justify the millions of dollars spent on flying Trump to Florida every weekend to play golf. Added to this is the extensive list of forbidden words and phrases just published in the New York Times that must be purged from all government documents, and how Doge the justifies the diversion of resources and salaries to pay for highly trained cartographic staff to change the names Gulf of Mexico and Denali on maps and all government documents and publications. It makes no sense. But as of January 20th, America has made little sense. Had made little sense. It got cut off there to anyone or anyone paying attention. So yeah, there we have it. There, the hypocrisy of America. The only problem I have with any of this is that people are behaving as if the hypocrisy of America started with Trump. And good Lord, do we remember that George Bush was president for 8 years and a million Iraqis died? Like, seriously, honestly, and give me a break. Right. So much love to the people that are backing and supporting the lives of Black people and making sure they're not in danger. Albeit, I never want to see Black people suffer, starve, be out of doors, be out of clothes. But let's not act like this is a new and Trump invented this in this country, right? This is something that has been going on for the entirety of 400 years. And let's not act like Trump is the face of this. We got thousands of faces throughout the generations in the United States that has perpetuated this on Black people. And to act like Trump is the face of this is disingenuous. He's a face, he's the latest face, he's the newest face, but add him on to an entire library, right? Of an entire encyclopedia of people and their stories that have perpetuated this against Black people in the country. So there we have it. Black Lives Matter Plaza removed. And remember, this is a human rights issue, what we're doing here. And if we keep it civil rights and we work within the confines and context of the United States government, yeah, these types of things are going to happen. You're going to make gains, and as soon as another political entity is put in place, the gains are going to be absolutely erased because this is the intention of the United States. You're putting your fate in the hands of the people that took it from you in the first place. Our plight is human rights, and we belong in the international arena. And if we want reparations, this has to be brought before the world because we can't expect the robber to give us justice. He's the robber. So, with that said, family, let me know your comments, like, share, and subscribe. What do you think about this? We're going to bring you more like this. Support the Cash App, bottom right hand corner of your screen. And with that said, this is your brother, Afrodescendant Ali, for the Angel Network 1930. Peace out, family.